We'll take a look at the rental code that was sent with this. So the rental code's right here. Note that the rental code, like I said, is different from the Poke Paste that was sent. It has Psyshock over Psychic, which is a buff. You definitely want the Psyshock. And it has Crunch over Lash Out on Thundy, and I think Lash Out's probably better. But it doesn't have all the EV changes we made. So we're going to play some games with it, and hopefully we can win some. I'm still not sold on Seismitoad. I've seen so many people talk about how good Seismitoad is, and I'm still not sold on it. I think Seismitoad is definitely usable. Let's talk about that, because the thing with Seismitoad is you don't know if it's physical or special, right? You don't know if it's physical or special. They get really good coverage on both, so it's hard to say exactly what they're going to do. Do I have a problem going Cali? Like, if I were to go Cali, Groudon, I'd stop the Ogre, but I actually don't think there's a problem with Cali. Actually, I think Cali Venu is really nice, because I can switch in Groudon on either side. And then from there, Thundy's a Wet Noodle. Suicune's okay. Incin is okay, but this is where that Shuka Berry just isn't that great. I think you probably want the Suicune, which I think is very subpar versus Venusaur. You have to go Suicune. You have to be able to snarl that Kyogre. Let's go. You're actually going to go to internationals. I remember you saying it was really rough to go, so you never did. No, I'm going to a regional championships. Seismitoad gets Bounce. It gets like Power Whip, I think. I don't know. It gets Grass Knot. It gets like Sludge Bomb. Seismitoad gets a ton of cool stuff. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. Seismitoad Venusaur. Awesome. So they're reading us using Groudon, and they're using that Venusaur against us. Good play. Nothing wrong with that at all. That's one of the reasons why we wanted to open up without our Groudon, right? So right now, we have the advantage. If you were to switch in your Kyogre and do something, it might not end the best for you. So like I can go with like a Psyshock, and this is why Psyshock's so much better than Psychic, because you can just Psyshock into the Venusaur, goes right through a vest, just tears it apart. It's also better against Kyogres, especially because those guys are vested too. So we can go with a big Psyshock into this Venusaur. Hopefully it's not a Sash set. If we take a look at their team, it is the most common Sash mon on their team. So that's one thing to note. And I will actually just pop off with a Vine Lash into the Seismitoad slot. I don't think there's a problem with that. Yeah, you can totally go for an Airstream against me too with your Seismitoad. I don't think it'll get the KO, and we'll basically trade maxes, but I'll get a dot up. So we'll see. We will see. And if they want to open up with like a Max Venusaur themselves, we'll see. I don't think this is an incorrect play if they're switching in something there. Yeah, go for it. Go nuts. Take a big max attack on your Calyrex, you know? Let's go. If it's a better built Venu with HP defense, special defense AV, we'll see. But that's why we're using Psyshock, right? That's why we're using Psyshock, because Psyshock will just tear it apart. It might be a Sash set, and so we've seen 3 of their mons. We have to assume the last one's Ogre. Have to assume the last one's Ogre. So let's see what their Venu's doing. Protect, maybe? Oh my god. Yeet! Sash? Nothing wrong with Sash. It looks like it's probably going for Sleep Powder, which is okay. I'm okay with Sleep Powder. Weather Ball. Man, I didn't switch in the Groudon. I know you thought I was going to, but I didn't. Didn't have to. I actually had absolutely no reason to switch that Groudon in. At all. No reason at all. Cool beans. Isn't it 2-shot with defense HP maxed bolt? Why would it be maxed HP defense? That's not a common Venusaur set. That's not a thing. Alright, we can just go with a straight up Astral here. I kind of want to just switch this Venu out. So now it sounds really weird. It's better to Quake into this slot in case they want to switch in Torkoal in that spot. And you say it's like a perfect first play, but like that's also, we forced them into that situation with our lead options. Like we pinned every single basic potential lead they could have by leading like this. They can still come out of it. They can switch in Torkoal. They'd have to have Torkoal instead, and they might have Torkoal instead. We'll see. Protect maybe. Awesome. That's another reason why we targeted the Calyrex spot with our max move. Big Protect there. So Astral Brawl's going to go +1 there. And they still have their max. Like these guys, this guy can still max, so there's still options for this guy to win. So Venusaur is going to take the big L, and then Calyrex will tick out after the Earth Power here. He sent out his lead in anticipation of Groudon. He did. And that's the thing, like Groudon See, like, if this is the and if this is the way we're playing the team, this is a perfect example of like why you don't need Groudon. You'd be better off using like most other things. It's actually better if this doesn't die because it's so slow. See? If you're left at like a pixel, that'd be really good for us because like it makes your board really weak, but I think you're gonna die. Yeah, fine. He would have been really pinned if he had to like bring out just one Mon, like the Seismitoad or the Kyogre here. The fact we still have our Sash and our Cali is really, really important, by the way. Seismitoad. What's your thoughts on Torkoal? Best Mon in the game. Alright. So we have our Groudon. Ready, willing, and able to bring this guy out. We don't want to switch in the Groudon. I don't think there's a reason to do that. I mean, I guess we could. We could switch in the Groudon and go for a big, you know, Vine Lash into the Seismitoad and clean up that. We would lose our Groudon that turn, probably. If they're maxing the Ogre. You know, there's nothing really wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. Alright, so I'm just going to go for the Vine Lash. I'm going to go into the Seismitoad slot because I think Seismitoad's more of a threat than Kyogre is at this point. If you want to max guard your Seismitoad, that'd be nuts. Nuts. I wouldn't say I'm the best. There's plenty of better players with Torkoal than me. Jin's one of them. So they're maxing something. Alright, so we're going to activate this. If they're maxing their Ogre and then re-geysering us, I'm not going to lie, I don't want to see that. Maxing size, but awesome. So Seismitoad, big max. And let's see, are you max guarding like a good player? Ooh, you're not. Scarf Ogre. Remember how we said that Groudon spread? The changes I'd made, we would have been able to eat that a lot better. Making it a lot bulkier. But we're going to be able to take the Toad out right now. Bye, Toad. Yeet. Yeet. Yeet, Toad. And then we just win. Scarf Kyogre not going to be enough. Really surprised that that Kyogre outspeeds this Venu too. That's nutty. That's super crazy. Oh, the Rage Quit. I'd Rage Quit too if I sucked. They don't even suck. They didn't even do anything wrong. They're just not professional player. That's +1. All right. Cowie's Shadow. This is another thing you want to take a look at when you're fighting against other people and you're preparing for like a tournament. And in these restricted formats, you really want to respect both of their restricted options and never just get a KO and allow them to bring out something like a new restricted or a new Pokemon to be able to pin you, right? So we know for a fact they're probably bringing their Zacian, right? And they're probably bringing their Cali, right? So in this situation, they're allowed one support Mon and then one Mon that has to max. And this is a tool you can use to fight against other Zacians because Calyrex doesn't commonly max, Zacian can't, right? So they're going to bring a mixture of Dusclops, Feeny, or Rilla, and then they're going to bring Zapdos. So it's going to be that first 3 plus one of those last 3. And we can analyze that from the team preview just because that's how these formats have to get played. So let's see. I don't think there's a problem with Venusaur here. Venusaur definitely does a good job about dealing with most of those. I don't think there's a problem with Incineroar either. It loses a little bit to Zap. And we can think about... This is also another reason why like locking the Suicune is not great because like the Calyrex turns it off. I don't think there's a problem leading Cali Venu again. I think Cali Venu is still going to be really good. There's no Intimidators, so we don't have to bring our Thundy. I'm really not a big fan of Thundy on this team at all. Because we want to go big with like Cali and Venu, which means we don't need Thundy to tell people to not bring Intimidators. Sorry, Intimidators. I think that there's nothing wrong with Incin, but it's going to be hard to use Incin, and we should probably bring Suicune, but this is just my second game with the team, so I'm bringing Incin instead. Yeah, team preview is really easy. Are you only doing this week or next week as well? We'll see how long it takes. I'm kind of just using these to fill content while I build my own teams for tournaments. I know it sounds really selfish, but I'm working really hard on making my own teams right now, and so I don't really want to show any of those ideas, and so that's why we're fixing other people's teams right now. So we see the Zap and the Rilla. It means their last 2 have to be Kyogre Zacian, or it'll correctly analyze that in the team preview. And if for some reason it's not Kyogre Zacian, if they have like Dusclops or Feeny, cool. You mean you didn't bring a restricted? That's a win, right? So it's great. Place Thunderous for Charizard on the team? No, I wouldn't do that either, because then you have too much water weakness, you know? My opinion. Anyways, we're in a great spot here. You can fake up my Venu, but I'm maxing, so like I don't care, right? So we're just gonna go with. Do I really want to max? I don't know if this Venusaur actually eats an Airstream. I actually don't. But I think I want to go with... This is such a weird looking play. I'm going to go with the Astral. And this is going to be incorrect, but I'm going to Vine Lash into the Rilla and get the double KO. And then we're going to have the dot for the remainder of the game. So we're basically foddering our max to... I mean, I don't think we die to their Zap. Oh, it's definitely maxing. It's airstreaming, right? And then it's going to have the advantage for the rest of the game, right? That's kind of... That's obviously their play here. They're trying to get the airstream on the Zap. They're going to airstream the Zap, and it's going to allow them to be a bully for the remainder of the game. And then they're going to KO the Venusaur, they're going to send their Zacian, and then we're going to fake out control, and we're going to be able to get basically the dot plus potentially a Life Orb on the Zap plus 2 Astrals, right? That's the idea we're going for here. If we can KO this Rilla this first turn. And if we don't lose our Venusaur. Now, I'm really used to playing with vested Venusaur. I do not think that their Zap will one-shot us with an Airstream. I know for a fact my Venusaur spread would not die to an Airstream, but we'll see. We'll see. Fake out. Yeah, see, it forces the Rilla to fake out there and alleviates pressure from our Calyrex too. So great damage here. Now, I think the Rilla will get KO'd by this Vine Lash, as long as I don't die. And if I die, that's fine. Oh, they're hitting the Cali. Cool. You mean you didn't hit my good Pokemon? We do be taking these. All the way to the bank. You didn't hit the Pokemon that was good? That's actually an okay play there too, because they think they can probably just Glass You Goddess this turn. And they are orbed, like I said, so we're going to be able to get this big damage here. And the next turn we'll switch in the Groudon and go for like a big play in one of their moms next turn. So good stuff. I like this a lot. So we'll hard switch in Groudon, and like we'll go for like a Max Flare or something into their Zacian. Or we might even just switch in like Incin or something. Hard to say. But good for us. So we'll see. I wonder if they're full speed Zap. Full speed Zap, I guess, would KO, or sorry, outspeed our Venusaur. It would. And their Life Orb, so like we would die. There's their Cali, so even if we had a Koba, we couldn't use it. I'm going to switch in my Incin, which I think could be incorrect here. And then I'm going to Max Guard, because I want the 1 tick of Vine Lash, and then I'll switch in my Groudon and Nuke. So we'll get the 1 Max Guard turn here. This is also just alleviating pressure from their Max. Zapdos is not as good when it can't Max. Venu Ben from the AV. I think AV Venu is really good, yeah. I mean, we wouldn't have to protect this turn. We would just switch in Groudon and just pop off, you know? But we'll see. There's the Airstream. We block those. And you can totally Astral. Because right now your Cali is like super pinned here. Ooh, expanding. Yeah, like I care at all. Cool. So now you have to respect my Incin. And you want to respect the Incin. Right? And you just lost your Sash. Good stuff. Zapdos is going to have a hard time dealing with Groudon as well. And Incin later on in the game. So let's see. Do we die? That's a good question. I'm like, do we actually die to this Airstream? If we die to the Airstream, we can still KO their Cali. There's 2 things that happen in this situation. I don't really mind Snarling here. We can also just hard switch in Groudon and try and soak the damage from the Zap. I don't know if that's the right play. If I was using my Groudon spread, I would Snarl here. I am going to Snarl, and I'm just going to try and stay in and just go for a Vine Lash. Let me see how this goes. Their last one has to be Zacian, though. We could switch in. It wouldn't allow us to outspeed the Zap. I just want you to know. If we die, we die. If we don't, we don't. I'm happy we didn't switch in the Groudon because that would have KO'd anyways. That crit. It's hard to know if that would have KO'd, you know? It's really hard to know if that would have KO'd. At the very least, we're going to be able to get value Snarl if we hit both, and then we get to bring on our Groudon relatively safely. We can Groudon pretty safely. Because Vine Lash is still ticking too. As long as we double hit, Astral's not going to do anything instant. And then we just bring out Groudon and go protect Snarl again. Not bad. Snarl hits on both. Sick. How's it going? And then we got the Vine Lash ticking. I don't think there's a problem with going like... If I had my Groudon spread again, we'd be super fine. I don't really think there's a problem in going for an attack with Groudon. I think we wouldn't want to go for an attack with Groudon if we had like the bulkier spread. Sorry, if we... With this one, we shouldn't be going for an attack because we're super frail, right? Had a 16% to Oko without crit. Are you sure? That seems too low. Like, too low. I feel like it would have more of a percent chance to KO me. Is it Orb? Are you calculating with Orb? Because I wasn't at full either. And, like, it's not, like, the best spread. We're just going to actually... We actually click parting here on the Zap in case they want to roost. You shouldn't roost here, but it is what it is. And we're just going to Rock Slide. So we're also doing this in case they want to switch out for Zacian. Hurricane can miss. It's a Sunny, bro. Sunny, bro. With max HP investment, yeah, it's not. This Venusaur doesn't have max HP investment either. And there's 1 point of Spadef in here. Rock Slide double hit, huge. We don't get to parting shot anything. Well, we do, and then the Violence will take out the Cali. Awesome, it's perfect because we get to reapply our Fake Out, which is amazing. So when there's Zacian in the back, it's gonna get dumpstered. Dumpstered. Cool. And if they have like Beanie or something weird, they shouldn't, you know. Bring in our Cali. Yeah, and this is just the power of Vine Lash. You know, Vine Lash won this whole game. We legit just... We went Venu versus Max Zap, and we're like, Lamau, you know? So show me that Vine Lash. Vine Lash. Cool. Yeah, we got crit by a Max move this game, and we're still probably going to win. Show me the Zacian. That Zacian, though. Again, my Groudon would have about 15% more HP right now on my spread. The one that I recommended. Which is really important. That's basically the living versus, like, Zacian. Feeny! It's fine with me. Pop off. Let's see. The right play here is probably a hard switch in Sin. And... Well, Protect is the right play. But let's see if they just scoop. You want to hard switch in Sin again, and Shuck in Sin's not that great. I'm really surprised to see the Feeny. There's nothing wrong with P-Blades here, but like we don't want to get... Scald wouldn't KO us. It can't burn us. I don't really care about the Muddy Water. I'll go for the P-Blades. We don't have to care. And then next turn we'll go Fake Out Swords Dance in one game. Cool. G-Max Stoice is good. Surprised to see the Feeny over the Zacian. Muddy Water's great. It's not going to do that much damage. Miss on Sin. Please no dumpster my Groudon, please. Please no dumpster Groudon. Citrus activates. Accuracy drop. Never lucky, though. Never lucky, though. Boo. Press and hit blades through a accuracy drop. We do be taking those. A lot of damage there. Lefties. It's fine with me. So I'm just going to protect SD. We actually don't even need to like SD right now, but it's fine. Actually, we don't need to SD at all. But I will just think they should be protecting here, right? So we want to do this just in case they eventually like leftovers out. Oh wow. I guess we can just use Rock Slide from here. That Feeny's going to be faster than my Sin, so we actually can just Parting Shot in here. Actually, I'm just going to go for the Flare Blitz. We'll get the KO. Flare Blitz will get the KO. It's in the sun. 2 Flare Blitz is more than enough. Rock Slide has a higher percent chance of hitting, so I'm just going to go with that at +2. Ooh, you outspeed my Groudon. That's nutty. That's like a really fast Beanie to outspeed my Groudon. Yeah, we win though. Got him. Got him. Yeah, I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with this team. I just think there's slight changes that can make this team a team that you can play in ranked versus a team that can do well in an international challenge. Slight moveset things, slight EVs things, slight item changes. Again, we have this Thundurus that we're not even using, and that's not a great thing, you know? Zek, my boy! Best restricted. All right, let's go. Urshi, Dark could be problematic. There's that Pult. Remember how I talked about you really would like to add at least 12 points in EVs and speed on Suicune to outspeed Pulse. This is the matchup where that'd be really important. I don't see an issue with leading in Sin. Being able to intimidate Urshi's good. I think in Sin, Venu brings a lot to the table because we can go protect Parting. Then bring out Groudon to enable. I don't think we need Thundy here. Even if we had the Thundy here, Thundy's not that great versus Zekrom or Zap. We'll see. Yeah, I think there's nothing really wrong with this, though. If they want to go with, like, big Pult, we'll deal with that. The cool thing for us is they have very limited speed control, meaning that they're going to have to Airstream. I should be bringing Thundy and Suicune more often. I just haven't really... They don't have the EV spreads that I like. They don't have spreads that I like, so I'm not bringing them. Yeah, we'll see. So, they should probably still bring Zek. They should bring both their restricteds. I respect the Pult here. I think Pult's definitely a better Mon than people are giving it credit for. So Cherish Ball something. Cherish Zek. Okay. So it's Urshi Dark, which is what you have to be. Basically, the fact that we have a Calyrex in our team forces the Urshi Dark. It's really, really important to note. Forces it. There's two things that happen in this situation. First of all, they should be respecting our Sleep Powder. Like, we can just hard switch out in Sin for Groudon and Sleep Powder that Zek. They have to be respecting that. So with the fact that we see these two, we see Urshi Dark and Zek, we know that they're going to have their Yveltal, most likely. And I'm thinking it might be Zap. It depends on if they're maxing this Zek. It really does depend on if Zek's the max, their last Mon would be something that is good, not max, which means it's probably Pult. Might not be Pult, it might be, but we know that they have a Yveltal back there somewhere. I'm going to switch in the Groudon because I want to enable the Venu to outspeed the Urshi, and I'm going to set my dot. I also think there's a slight chance that Urshi might protect. Actually, Urshi might just protect. Do I? Actually, I don't have to do that then. Yeah. We can just go fake out. Right there. We can just go fake out and G-max it. Get him off the board this turn. Cool. We don't have to switch in the Groudon. No reason to switch Groudon in. And the fact that we don't see a max from them means they're not maxing this turn, which means they might be not max. They might just be going with like a Protect Zek, like a Volt Switch. And I don't care if we intimidated the Zek. If it wants to be Special Zek, which is a good spread, we do have Shuka, so Insin's good matchup there. One of the few times it's actually good. So Urshi's going to get dumpstered, and Zek's going to get the dot ticking on him, which means if it does decide to max in a couple turns, it's going to be a weak max. Dragon Dance, that's fine. So they're basically at neutral right now. And we're going to be able to outspeed them next turn, probably with Venu, depending if they're full Jolly, and we can just go for a max Quake into that slot. And remember, when they do decide to max that Zek, it's going to be maxing up a much lower health pool. And now also, the Urshi Dark's gone, which is really going to unlock our Calyrex's potential to be not Sucker Punched and just be a good Mon. So not an amazing spot. We did waste one of our max turns. But they definitely got something out of it too. Their Zek got a +1 speed boost, which it's good. We'll see how they want to keep this up. I might Parting Shot into the Zek. Depends on if they bring out something that threatens my Venusaur speed tier, right? That's really the way this game's going to go down. Can you threaten my Venusaur speed tier? Yes or no? If you can, I'll switch in the Groudon. Yes, I guess that threatens it. It does. So they're probably going to be maxing that Zap then. So what we're going to do is switch in the Groudon, and we can max Quake the Zep, which will give us a +1 specialty boost, which means we won't die to the Zap. And then next turn we go like max start on our last max turn and waste their max turns if they decide to max the Zap. And then we just basically would use a mixture of like Incineroar, Groudon to wall out the Zapdos' max turns if that's what they're going to max. Use our Vine Lash, play a little bit longer game, and Zap shouldn't be able to break the Groudon if we don't just fodder it, right? We'll see though. Yeah, we'll see if they're even maxing the Zek. If you max the Zek, you're maxing a neutral Mon in the situation, and your Zap's like big useless. Like, I don't care if it Heat Waves me, especially if we get a Spadef boost. So who's maxing? You should be maxing the Zap and moving for Airstream, I think. Oh, it's maxing the Zek. Hey, cool. I love this for us. I love this. Like, you can. I hope you're not policy, but like. And I respect Zekrom. I think Zekrom is probably my favorite restricted. But I think we're in an okay spot here. So we'll see. Airstream. Wow, we actually outsped. He's at neutral right now, though. And he doesn't stab it. Yep, neutral and doesn't stab it. Like, that's how that works, you know? This is gonna... Oh, anytime you ever get crit by a max move, you do not deserve to win the game. I'm just letting you know right now. If you ever get crit by a max move, you do not deserve to win the game. Like, that's basically getting hit with an additional max move. That's how good that is. Eternatus is okay. I'm not a big fan. I'd rather use a Zacian. Yeah, that sucks, man. That still sucks. Alright, I'm happy I didn't die their second max guard. Yes. Awesome. That's a great turn for me. There's nothing wrong with going with a double protect play here and just waiting out some of their max turns. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Wait out their last max turn. Hard switch out the Venusaur for Insane, get an Intimidate, and go for a Rock Slide. Yeah, I like that. Just let the Vine Lash do the work. They're probably going to Thunderbolt into my Venu and go for like an Airstream or a Wormwind into my Groudon. Groudon doesn't care, you know. Zacian Yveltal? Yeah, it's a good team. Airstream. Wow, second Airstream. Yeah, this Groudon doesn't give a shit, you know. Groudon don't care. Stuff like this is why I like... Oh, we got crit by 2 max moves. If you ever get crit by a max move, you don't deserve to win. And we were crit twice by a max move. Just think about that. Just think about it. Awesome. We're going to switch Incineroar here. Get an Intimidate, and we're going to Rock Slide. Rock Slide will be able to finish off the Zek after the Vine Lash ticks and maybe KO the Zap. You can totally Wormwind me. I don't realistically care. Because this is your last max turn, and then I'll just have a Fake Out pin on you. And we still have Calyrex able to come out and be a threat later on in the game. Awesome. I'm still saving our Venusaur on the back. It's kind of nice too. Intimidate on the Zek means he goes down -1. Weather Ball Zap's good. It means it's probably bested, so we can't roost. Airstream into Venusaur. Oh, into the Groudon. It's a third Airstream. No Dragon Attack. I don't care about your speed. Speed matters not. Zekrom and Zap. It's not bad. Zap's a good mon. Zap's a great Zekrom check. Sorry, great Zacian check. Like, they're different. One's physical, one's special. You can have both. Doubling up on your strengths, there's nothing wrong with that in formats like these. So, Zek should tick out here. Awesome. So, all the speed boost for naught. And they have a fast Zap, so we can just go Fake Out Rock Slide and take it out. Lugia, Blastoise, Entei. That's going to be hard. Zap might actually go down to a Fake Out. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if something's worth Fake Outing on the other side here, too. Lando. Awesome. Cool. I'll just take out the Lando. Fake Out Lando, Rock Slide. Fodder, Venu, bring out Groudon Unintimidated, and win the game. That's a show in this team can be super dangerous with the correct EV spreads by dominating with the wrong spreads. Hey, that's the point, you know? That's definitely, like, the point. It basically just shows that, like, you know, teams like this are completely fine, but they can be made just slightly better. Yeah, we don't care about the Zap. You can click whatever you want. Roost. So it's not vested. It just has Weather Ball. That's very, very unique. And there's nothing wrong with them having, like, a Zap set like that at all. The Lando flinches after the Zap, which means it still could totally be Scarfed. Alright, let's think about this. You're going to Roost again. I think I'm going to actually P-Blades here. I think you're going to Roost. And I think... So I'm going to click the P-Blades because I really expect the Roost here. And I'm going to fodder the Venusaur, and then we're going to bring out Insane and get a repin. I don't need to do that. I can go for a Swords Dance here. Yeah, we can just go for a Swords Dance, fodder the Venu, repin with Fake Out. I like that play better. Safety Goggles Zap? It might be. So just fodder the Venu. I want to see what the Lando's obviously going to click Earthquake. There's the Roost. So we could have just got the P-Blades there. P-Blades. Dumpstered. Would have dumpstered that Zap. Don't really need to do that, though. Because Zap can't do that much to, like, Groudon. And if we get Intimidate up on this Lando, we're going to proc our Citrus's turn. Zap can't do that much to Groudon either. And remember, we were equipped by 2 max moves this game. 2 of them. Oh, he hit his own Zap after the Roost. Wow. It's live form. Oh my gosh. What a misplay from him. I'm like, hey, where does Zap go? You should have clicked Rock Slide. Obviously, why weren't you Rock Sliding? Well, we take those. All the way to the bank, bro. All the way to the bank. Yeah, we're just bringing out Insane. Go Fake Out SD again, and then we win. Oh, Zapdos. Nice life for bro. Yeah, we take those. Yeah, I would also argue that this team isn't even the team that's like realistically my playstyle, like at all. But like it just shows that like I can make pretty much anything work. Cool. You can EQ me all you want. SD again. Another one. And another one. We have Shuka. So we won't die on Insane Slot either. When you roost, you can get hit by ground move. Yep, that's how it works. Even your own teammates' ground moves. That's why I said I could have P-Blades that turn. What a weak Earthquake. You know it's not weak? My boy, Groudon. SDDs. Oh my gosh, so big. So big. We take those, man. 100% win rate. Just showing, it goes to show. You can win with anything.